For the 23-24 season, Talking Wolves is proudly supported by Green King Sport, where football is more than a game.
Green King Sport venues are showing every single one of Wolves' televised fixtures throughout this season. So instead of turning to the internet for a dodgy stream, why not get your mates together, get yourself down to a Green King pub and get closer to the action?
That's right, Dave. And Green King Sport have recently launched their Green King Sport Instagram page. It'll have a load of content on there, some deals and some competition throughout the season. So please do us all a favour. Do us all a favour here at Talking Wolves. Follow the Green King Sport Instagram page so you're the first to know about it. Now it's time to get stuck into the podcast. Hello and welcome back to the Talking Wolves podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cooper, and today we're back with a full house. We'll start with Dave. Dave, how you been keeping, mate? You look like you're done in a Manchester United retro shirt there. You've been watching the David Beckham documentary.
No, I haven't watched it yet, to be fair. That's this was a template I got off Classic Football shirts a while back. I've never really worn it, to be fair. So, yeah, I've just been on a jog trying to get sharp ahead of the big content creators tournament on Sunday. So trying to get my fitness levels up before Sunday. But yeah, looking forward to it. All good.
I don't think one jog's going to solve that.
No, I've been doing the last couple of weeks. No, I've been doing the last couple of weeks back on it. But yeah, I'll get a few more in before Sunday as well. So yeah, looking forward to it. I'll leave a link again in the description if anyone wants to check it out.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll chat about it a little bit later. But Finn, welcome back, mate. Missed the last one, but
thank you.
Did you listen to the Guess a Footballer game on the career path on the last pod? There was something there I reckon you would have got. Am I right?
Who was there? Was another Portuguese one in there? Was there? There was someone that I was like, oh
Miranda.
Yeah, I'd had a point there.
That was
it.
I thought you would have got that one. To be fair, yeah.
Was it the Rio Ave? And I was like, yeah, bang.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, very good podcast. Really enjoyed it. Shame I had to miss the one where it was probably going to be the biggest result of the season, but I think you all covered it beautifully. So yeah, I wasn't missed.
Wonderful. What have you been up to? Anything of note?
Similar to Dave, but more first touch than fitness, because that's what that's what I normally lack. So yeah, just anyone kicking a ball at a wall or getting someone to just fire a ball at me. It's what Jem was doing all weekend. Well, on Saturday, no game, but just fire a ball at me.
In reverse.
So,
It's a family show. Yeah. Sorry. Heads in the gutter already. Jordan, mate, how are you, son?
I'm all good, thanks to you.
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. You've been up to much. When's the wedding, by the way? It's soon, isn't it?
February.
Oh, it's creeping up.
Creeping up, yeah, for sure. So, no, it's all good. It's just literally rock up, get married, get pissed. That's my plan anyway. So, yeah.
Is that why you've been on a bit of a health kick recently? Because of the wedding, or?
Cup, eh?
To be fair,
first and foremost.
I haven't had to work on my first touch like Finn for the Creators Cup. I'm hoping I'll be all right. But no, yeah, trying to trim down a little bit. Doing a lot of spinning at the minute. I've actually booked in for a sports massage on Saturday. Just out some free season. I've got two games of football this week. A bit of spinning, a bit of swimming, and a sports massage ready for Sunday. So,
do you enjoy spinning?
I need it. Love it. Yeah, because I had surgery on my knee, so I can't really road run anymore. So I've got no give. So spin and swimming's the best thing for it, to be fair. So there's like no weight on it. So yeah, I actually quite like spin class. I mean, they don't look like Ariana Grande and Nicki Minaj at the videos. They're my spin class. But,
more like Bricky Minaj in David.
Yeah, more like Peter Kay and Rick Waller.
Which one are you? I've got more surgery starting November. I've been to one spin class, Jordan. I was there, I reckon, 30 seconds, and the spin class hadn't even started because I don't know about you, but I couldn't get my arse on a seat.
Yeah, and that's the only thing is,
yeah. I know you're not meant to like sit down on it, but.
Like you do have to, it does feel like you've like got a dead arse. Like you do get like, from the thing. So it's a bit, get a bit of cushion.
Because you're meant to like stand up on them, aren't you, mostly? And like, but
you basically stand up, sit down, and like hover and all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I try it like every time because obviously when you're cycling, you go a little bit left to right. Like the bike was like lifting off the ground. I thought I'm going to end up on the floor here. So I pretended to like hurt my hamstring and like wandered out the studio. When I got a Mackey's or something, probably. Yeah, it wasn't for me. Dave, have you ever been on for a spin class?
No, mate, but that'd probably be the only bike I can ride. But I don't do normal bikes, do I? So,
Oh God, yeah.
yeah.
Anything with two wheels. We tried to hire some scooters in Belgium, and like the ones you get around Birmingham, like the electric ones you can hire. Like Dave just could not get to grips with it. As soon as he stood on it, he fell off it. He's like, I just can't.
Balance is awful. Stuff like that. I don't know why.
That can't even be balanced. So that's just like. I mean, I'm not the best on a bike, but I can push a scooter.
Then I got offered by a crackhead to have a race. Remember, so I had to get the back of yours. So I'd seen off Titanic.
Yeah, it was pretty ropey. Belgium, by the way, Bruges, unbelievable, lovely. Brussels, Dave,
yeah, no comment. Awful gaff.
Absolute shit tip. Absolute shit tip. No wonder Fabio wanted to leave. Fucking hell. Anyway, let's get into it. Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Aston Villa 1. Dave, unchanged from the team that beat Manchester City. What were your thoughts on that initially? I know Jordan had broke on Twitter, his ITK, that Wolves were going to be unchanged. We weren't sure whether Gary O'Neill was going to tailor the approach based on the opposition like he has, but I suppose you can't really change a winning formula, can you?
No, I think most people would have been happy with that lineup and that setup unchanged. I think everyone deserved to keep their place after that game against Manchester City. And yeah, I mean, 2 positive results. I know they're both at home. But I think this is almost given Gary O'Neill, or probably made up his mind in regards to his best 11 and the shape that maybe we can push on with now. Obviously, after the international breaks, we have got games against teams you probably hope they will have the upper hand against and can hold more of the ball against. Does he switch back to the back four? I don't know, but at the moment, I'm more than happy with how we're cracking on with this back 5 system.
Yeah, I think it suits us a lot better because at the start of the season, Finn, like Kilman and Dawson, a lot of question marks around can they play as a partnership. Some pretty abhorrent performances, but in that 5 with the inclusion of Totti, I mean Dawson the last couple of games been outstanding.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if only someone maybe flagged it before the start of the season that maybe we'd look better in a 5. But no, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because I was just thinking, 3 out of the 4 previous seasons we've started in a 4 with 3 different managers as well in that time, and they've all tried that 4 and then reverted. So if we do see that long-term sort of switch to a 5 now, then that's Nuno, Bruno, and Gary O'Neill, that's him, that have all done similar. So maybe we're just built for it. I know that we'll slowly try and build out of that, but yeah, we just keep coming back to it. I like Kilman on the right of a 3. It's weird, and you see more of those runs forward that he sort of was getting those sort of England shouts for a few years ago. And Totti as well. Yeah, he's at 2 points a game now when he's starting games for Wolves. Wolves are at. So yeah, it's looking good. That back line, we're looking so much sharper, so much more secure in that 3. And there's ability on the ball, maybe more from Kilman than the other 2, but it's definitely there if we need it.
There is Kilman makes up for Totti's in just absolute lack of any kind of technical footballing ability.
Yeah, I put it politely.
I know Dave likes to think that he's got a lot of technical ability because he did a step over against Villa last season.
Respect Totti, man.
No, but he's so bad with the ball at his feet. He's so unnatural.
He looks unnatural. I don't think he's as bad as people make out.
No, I don't think he's a bad player, but like he's very much a head on a stick, and
got strengths and weaknesses. Yeah,
that's nice way of putting it. Nice way of putting it. Jordan, first half. Well, Villa obviously switched to the 5/4 because Cash was playing right wing, but I thought the first half, Jordan, was a little bit sluggish, and maybe Villa were probably the better side.
Yeah, maybe. I think I've been waiting to come on the pod rather than tweet about it because I thought I can't articulate what I want to say about what I thought about the game on a tweet without getting pelters. But I thought that before the game, obviously a point's a great result against Villa, well, a decent result, let's say. They're a good team at the moment, but I thought that we got it wrong on the weekend in terms of I thought the tempo was too slow. I thought we played at Villa's pace. I think Villa dictated the game. That they looked a bit leggy after Thursday night, and they just sort of after beating Man City the week before, we should have been bouncing. We should have been on the front foot. even the atmosphere should have been a better, I thought, from the start. It just all felt a little bit sluggish and a bit slow for me. And granted, you know what, it's a good point. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy with the point, but yeah, I feel like the tempo killed us, and especially that first half. I've seen better games down the park. Like both teams were so bad, it was stop the start. And I know we'll get onto the ref. I don't think the ref helped the tempo of the game either. It was just useless. Let's be honest. But yeah, I was a little bit disappointed with most of the performance from a Wolves point of view. Really, I thought the tempo was far too slow, and especially in that first half.
I think Gary Neal said as much anyway in his post match. He said that Villa were a little bit passive. I think he used, and I tend to agree. I thought they were a little bit one-dimensional, if I'm totally honest. But you know, third top goal scorers in the league this season. I think only City have picked up more points than Villa, or won more games than Villa this calendar year, Dave. So I still think, I know George said he wasn't very happy with the performance, but I think compared to where they are and the money that they've spent, and don't get me wrong, we've spent money, but the contrast of each other's windows and the change, I think we more than matched them. And if it wasn't for the red card, potentially could have gone on and won the game because we had a foothold on the game.
We had chances to win it as well. I think, Neto's was the big one where he really has to get on
Difficult challenge
target.
at that chance, I think.
Yeah. I think Sasha had a chance, which he sort of scuffed. But yeah, we had opportunities to win the game. And I think it was frustrating that we obviously conceded our goal, so soon after we'd scored the goal. Because I think if we could have sat on that a little bit more, we could have made life very, very frustrating for Aston Villa. But yeah, like you said, with the way Emery's got them playing, a little bit frustrated because obviously they would have played on Thursday. So maybe that's why they stuck with the back five, because they might have been a bit leggy, add that little bit of extra support at the back. But I think that's why the game probably was as flat as it was. They were never really going to get out of first gear. I think Diaby as well, who wasn't 100% fit, played sort of 50, 60 minutes. So
you could tell,
yeah,
really, couldn't you?
I think, unfortunately we did play at Villa's pace. But in hindsight, I think it was a good point anyway.
Yeah, I think it was as well. Especially, I missed the last 2 or 3 minutes because of how much added time there was, and I didn't have any time left on the parking, so I had to leave at like 90, 99. So I've heard that Watkins hit the post, didn't he?
Yeah.
But the first half wasn't great, Finn, but I felt like the second half it burst into life a little bit. But the whole game had a feeling, and I don't know if it was because of the weather or whatnot, but it felt like an end of season May performance where two teams that weren't really arsed.
Yeah, I think it's probably equal blame on both teams and the referee as well. It was so stop-start. It was American football, like almost, dribble, stop, pass, stop. There was just, you could get nothing going. Burst into life, probably a bit generous, but yeah, definitely more exciting. I think that day, because then I went home and watched the Arsenal City game. And I was like, God, what has happened to this beautiful sport? Two absolutely horrendous games for different reasons.
Crap, wasn't it?
But yeah, it was much better second half. And then we had that 30 seconds of, as we were saying about the atmosphere wasn't massive. We had that 30 seconds, then it soon died down again. I think even little things like them swapping halves, there was a chance for Villa in, must have been the 46th minute, and I went to cheer, because I just got in my seat, looked around, I thought, oh, we're down that end, and nothing felt natural, flowing, and I think I'd take the point and get out of there, especially with what happened later on.
Yeah, you mentioned about the game being very stop-start. I thought I was getting pissed off with both teams because there were so many theatrics. You've got John McGinn going over every minute. You've got Cunha doing his classic of being touched and rolling around on the floor. Juan going over like he's been shot. Just get on with it. Like, you're not going to get the foul just because you're falling over. George, you're probably in the same boat as me. It was just really irritating me, but from both sides, it was pathetic.
Yeah, no, and it's just the tempo. Like I say, the tempo completely gone. I mean, there was about we lost 3 or 4 minutes in the first half for a corner to be taken because Dawson and McGinn just kept wrestling each other, and I don't know why the ref just hasn't gone either give a penalty or give a free kick the other way, because I was like, I can't be arsed for this anymore. Like, what's going on? Like the ball's obviously blow the whistle. The ball's live, whether the corner kick comes in or not, and whoever commits a foul, just blow it either way and just be done with it, because it was just like I say, it was so handbags. And I'll be honest with you, I've never really had too much of a problem with John McGinn. Like I really haven't. And then I thought the weekend, I thought you are such a fucking wanker. Like like moaning about everything. Like he runs like a shit himself. Like it's just like stay on your feet and just get on with the game. It's just it was so stop start. And like I say, the less said about Rob Jones the better, because I don't want to give him any airtime, because that's exactly what he wants.
Who did we play last season when Nunes was given a warning, South Bank end, for pulling for a penalty? That one warning, he then carried on, and then we conceded a penalty. I can't remember who it was against.
Was it Forest at home? Was it
possibly? And then they missed it. Yeah, that could have been. But that's all you do. He gave like 3 warnings, didn't he? On those, it was just frustrating all round.
He's a prick, Rob Jones. He's genuinely he's such a bad ref, man. Like he's the one. And I saw he was the ref for Palace away this year as well, wasn't he? And it was the same sort of thing. Like the lack of consistency was ridiculous.
But Prances around like he's got a toffee stuck up his arse.
He loves to.
The bollocks,
he loves his whistle too much though. And I saw the amount of people that were bringing up tweets from last year saying, "Oh, Rob Jones loves to be centre of attention." It is literally how it is, and it's frustrating. Like, but then to be fair, I learned something new, and I don't know if you guys know this. You know, we had it a couple of times where Hwang and Neto went off the pitch. See, I always thought the ref just brings them on whenever. They have to have been off the pitch for a minimum of 30 seconds. Before the. I genuinely didn't know that, because all the.
I think that's for head injuries, isn't it? I thought it's for head injuries.
I don't know if it's just in general though, but because
it's in general, I think.
Yeah, but because this lad in front of me told, and the South were going mad when he let Neto back on when there was a delay on the corner. Then he didn't even take it, and then he allowed him to come back on. So that's one thing I learned yesterday. But yeah, he's frustrating, that Rob Jones. He just loves his whistle too much, unfortunately.
You raise a good point on the corner though, George, because it was going on for like 2 or 3 minutes. It's like just let the ball in play, and I was saying like, let him play it, and then if, like you said, if Dawson commits a foul, give a foul the other way, and if McGinn pulls him down, just give a penalty.
You've warned him, yeah.
Like, what's because and it was still going on, and when the ball was in play, wasn't it? So
yeah, it's just shocking.
They were having afters as well, Dawson and McGinn. I don't know what they were saying to each other, but yeah, something was said between them both as well. But if he like. There's no complaints, I think, by either side. If he blows, it was peeing all the players and the fans off more, that he just kept letting it ride. So
it's like that Nunes one. Like we said, no one went, "Oh, I can't believe that's been given." You went, "What an idiot! Why has he kept doing that after being warned?"
He's the ref warned you. You've done it again. Penalty, fair enough. Yeah. But when you got the ref going, lads, come on, lads, let's leave it.
Straight
lads,
away
come
as
on,
well.
fucking hell, Rob, make a decision, you twat.
But it's also like, right, lads, come here, stop it.
Yeah.
Go, lads, come back again. Like, how long are we going to do this for?
Yeah. But then I think Dawson was unlucky because not unlucky. He obviously felt Dawson was equally to blame, because the next passage of play, Dawson commits a foul and gets booked straight away.
Yeah, it was the first foul, he booked him.
Yeah. So he must have felt Dawson was, as bad as McGinn in that.
And Dave, Watkins went down. Well, Watkins went down and had the physios on for that. Never made him.
And he didn't come off. I know.
Yeah.
But that's another rule, though. Again, I think it changed to start the season. If someone gets treatment after someone's booked, they can stay on the pitch. So that's a new rule this year. Yeah.
Oh,
there's another new rule.
Sorry, Rob. You were bang on.
So it's the person who commits the foul. Yeah. If you get treatment after if someone's been cautioned, you can stay on the pitch.
Oh, there you go.
Really?
Mm-hmm. New this year.
I don't think he actually got treatment. The physios come on, but they didn't treat him. They didn't touch him or treat him. They just come on.
But, yeah.
Doesn't really
I had a proper, I'd say Alan Partridge type moment on, because there was 4 warnings, weren't there, with the Dawson McGinn thing. And it was, you'd have all ripped me, if you'd have heard. Because someone went around and went, 4 warnings, ref. And then I went, what is this? And then my brain was like, what's something where you get loads of warnings? I went, what is this, a driving test? And I was like,
oh, no.
And I know everyone, I was like, I'm sorry, everyone.
Who's this bloke here?
Terrible.
Oh, bloody driving test.
What is it, ref?
Golly, ref.
How many minors?
Done. Oh, bless you, Finn. That's a proper corporate shout, that is. Ruddy hell, referee.
Robert Jones.
That's amazing.
Get him off the field.
Disgusting. Canapes are going cold.
But tell you one player who we can finally say is back to his best is Pedro Neto. The goal itself was a great transition. It was nice to see Hwang start the move off and finish it. But Jord, Neto down that right hand side, we all said it didn't really work, but you can see how much confidence he's got, that he's happy to go either side. And for the first time he got at Pau Torres, he roasted him, and Hwang attacking the front post. It's like beyond our wildest dreams, this, that we've got two forwards on form.
Absolutely. And I think, I think what the big change with Neto seems to be, he's got confidence in his pace again and his ability to be able to run the line. Because when he kept, like last season, large parts of last season, he kept coming inside, and we both said he's not very, not cute enough to play that sort of inverted winger and penetrate the back line that way. But now he just seems to have got loads of confidence back in his fitness. You can tell he's fully fit. He's just flying, and he just stands defenders up, and he just goes. And it's very reminiscent to like what Matt Jarvis used to do. But I think he's a bit better technically than Matt Jarvis, where it's just like, I'm going to slow you down, and I know I'm going to blitz you on the outside. I'm just going to slow you down, and I'm going to go. He trusts his pace to get past, and like it was reminiscent of the Diaz own goal the week before, like right down the right wing, cuts across the defender, puts the ball in the box, and like say Hwang was there, and he's just on fire at the moment, the boy. So yeah, no complaints from me. It was a very well worked goal. Again, in transition, broke with pace, and that's where we're at our best, and that's how we have been at our best since we've come back to the Premier League. So, it's a very, very typical Wolves goal, but that's a blueprint. Keep them coming. I'm all for it.
Dave Emery said in his post-match press conference that Wolves are very difficult to stop in that transition. It's almost like how would you describe it? Like counter press, isn't it? Whereas like you give the ball away, they get the ball, and then you get it back off them, and we score quite a few goals from that. But the work from Cunha in that build up as well shouldn't go unnoticed. I know some fans are saying perhaps we should be playing Kalidasic or Fabio Silva, not so much Silva, but I didn't think Cunha was at his best at the weekend, but he did well in the build up too. But it's just a bit of intelligent play from Hwang as well to actually get across his man.
Mate, and again, I think was there a little touch, I think, by one of the defenders, which sort of just about touched it into Hwang's path. But the work from Neto again is just phenomenal, man. Like different player at the moment, and it's like we've known since he joined the club. Really, he's got that quality and that capability. I think he's believed in himself as well since day one. I think when someone said like, "What do you want to do?" He says, "I want to become the best footballer in the world." Like, he knows he's a good footballer, and it's just about him being able to stay fit. And he's all of a sudden gone from someone that you probably would have, maybe like a 25, 30 million pound player in the summer to someone who genuinely by the end of the season could be worth 60, 70, 80 plus million. He's just got to keep doing what he's doing. The game plan, I say the game plan, but one of our strengths at the moment, him on the right as well, by the way, which again, I wouldn't have believed. But the last 2 weeks, his runs and the creativity for the goals have both been very, very similar. But like you said, Villa and City were the same. They sort of have a lot of the ball, get the defence high up, and then bang, he's so difficult to take the ball off when he's at full pace.
Such a strong runner as well.
Yeah, Pau Torres spun him, and then Hwang, right place, right time, and already now matching our top goal scorer from last season, which is phenomenal how our fortunes have changed in front of goal. Obviously, it could still be a lot better, but much better to go to games, and it's only been United away, we haven't scored in, but much better to go to games and know we've actually got an opportunity to put the ball in the back of the net.
It looks comfortable going either side now as well, Neto, whereas before it was pretty one-dimensional. But even when he's coming in on the right-hand side and cutting inside, he's still beating his man, which when they're expecting that, he's still managing to do it. He did it to Contra a couple of times as well. So really, really impressed. But fortunately, took 2 minutes for Villa to score the equaliser, Finn. Wolves switch off, maybe?
Yeah, I also switched off, so I might not be the best person to talk to because I was in a group chat with one of my mates who had just wildcarded on FPL and put 2 Villa defenders in. And the day before I'd said, "Oh, don't worry, Hwang's going to wipe that out." And then I was straight away trying to find that message to send back, looked up and they'd scored. So I haven't actually watched it back. So if anyone else wants to describe it, but it was Pau Torres, wasn't it?
Yeah, Judd.
Yeah, switched off, didn't they? I think, David, know this is a football manager veteran. You're always at your most vulnerable when you go 1-0 up and you score a goal. So, I think it was just a bit of a nothing. It was a nothing free kick, wasn't it? And it's dropped to Watkins, and it was just it's a shit goal to concede. I can't lie. I watched it back earlier. It's avoidable, but these things happen. I think it's hard to pinpoint blame at anyone. I just think collectively probably switched off a bit, relaxed maybe too much. All four stands of the ground were stinging shit on the Villa, and then it went deathly silent as soon as the ball hit the back of the net as well. You're just like, oh fuck. It's one of, like I say, it's definitely avoidable. I don't think they'll be looking at it very fondly back on the training ground today when they're looking at it and reviewing the game back. But yeah, just got to be a bit sharper and a bit cuter.
Yeah, I thought Joe Gomez struggled in this game. Felt like he was chasing shadows a little bit. But when Boubacar Traore come on, I know he. Who did he come on for? Did he come on for Gomez or did he come on for
Gomez?
Gomez.
I thought he was excellent again, and I remember having a conversation with you, Dave, at the start of the season when we said like it doesn't look like Lopetegui fancies him, and when he had his chance, he looked pretty poor. But perhaps you can put that down to fitness because the last 2 or 3 games he's looked a really bright player again.
Yeah, I think he might get the start at Bournemouth as well, possibly.
He will. We will own Lamina. He has to, really.
Yeah, unless he puts Bellegarde in. But if we stick him in the back 5, let's say.
9 and 2.
Yeah, but So I don't know. I think I think he'll come in, Boubacar, and he has been impressive. I think the thing is with him, I think his turn of pace for such a big man is good sometimes. I always remember back before the World Cup, that Arsenal game at home where we were unlucky. Guedes probably should have had that penalty. I thought he was fantastic in that game. Some of him driving forward with the ball and passing it out, he was good. So I think he's been another player unfortunate with injuries, but are running the team, and who knows? I think it could be a very decent replacement for Lamina for the next game.
He reminds his pressing style when the players got the ball, especially with like the back to goal. He's almost like he's bungee cabled to like one of the stands.
I know what you mean, yeah.
And then like they pull him back as soon as a player receives a ball, and as a player takes a touch, he's like boom, straight at him, like. Which I think maybe I don't know, maybe a little bit too aggressive sometimes, and may get caught out.
I agree.
But he don't have like inject a bit of energy into the game.
Yeah, I think that with him, I think again he'll probably be like Lamina, where he'll get a lot of cheap bookings, unfortunately. But it'd be interesting. I think I'd be really intrigued to see how he gets on, assuming he starts at Bournemouth. Next to Gomez, probably. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on. But a big chance for him because who knows? Unfortunately, in cases like this, when you're having injuries and you struggle to get into the team, you almost need another player to get injured or suspended before you can have your chance. So this is his chance now, probably away at Bournemouth. So it's up to him if he wants to take it or not.
Yeah, well, Semedo is now suspended for Bournemouth because he picked up a yellow card after the final whistle at Man City and then got booked again at the weekend. So he'll be missing, although the Premier League website still hasn't reflected.
Have they put that forward? Like who have they?
Liam King confirmed it with the club.
Yeah,
with the club.
Yeah, the club.
Right, okay.
But if the league haven't, should we just try it? Just sneak him on.
Well, I was saying to Matt before we started.
We looked at the website.
On the Premier League website, it's got a list of who's banned for the next game week. Lamina's on there and Semedo isn't. So, the City one was after the game, wasn't it? But apparently they had to wait till like after the weekend for the referee to put his like match sheet in. So surely that would have been in by now. I don't know. I suppose if he's confirmed with the club, though, I don't know.
Yeah, second booking for Lamina though, which means he will miss the Bournemouth game. Do you think it was warranted, lads, or do you think it was a little bit soft? To be honest, I think he was asking for it all game. He was just clattering people.
I think that
making some good tackles, but with the role that
I think that particular one,
the role that them two are in, it's going to happen.
Yeah,
yeah.
I thought that one was soft, but I don't know. I think Pau Torres was looking for it, but he knew as soon as they both had a hold of each other. But I think, unfortunately, for Lamina, I would have been disappointed if a Villa player didn't get booked for that, to be fair, especially when you're on the break.
Yeah, but they need to keep a lid on this a little bit, though, because there's been, like, since this season and last season, they've had, like, 8 or 9 red cards. Some are a little bit soft, but you've got to keep a lid on it because to control your aggression. Like I said, some of them have been soft, but some of them are just just pure petulance, really. But we're clinging on at the end, Jord. I know that Gary O'Neill said that he thought Wolves were the better side and stuff, but I think on another day with that sending off, Wolves potentially could have lost that game, and that would have been an absolute sucker punch in that fashion.
Yeah, it would have been, but I just think Villa just don't beat us at Molineux, do they? Let's be honest. It's one of those things. I think they could have, they could be champions elect, but I don't think they'll beat us at the minute. We seem to have some weird voodoo on them, but yeah, look, we've got away with it. Obviously, Watkins hit the post late on, and yeah, like I say, on another day it could come back and bite you on the arse going down to 10 men. But again, I think Rob Jones is looking to send someone off all game as well, to be honest with you. I'm surprised it took till that long or that late into the game for that to happen, because he was dishing out cards waiting for it, I thought.
Yeah.
The Ollie Watkins chance should have never have happened, though, by the way, because Rob Jones was about to blow his whistle as they had a throw in or something, and because they passed it forward, he took the whistle out his mouth, and then the ball went in, and I think that's why Gary O'Neill was so peed off at the end as well.
He did it in the game though, as well. That
happened a few times where a clear foul had been given to either side, and he put his whistle in his mouth, and then he'd take it out.
Yeah, he did it.
What's
I
all
think
that about?
Traore made a challenge on the halfway line, and he was about to blow, and everyone was like, he clearly won the ball. He was about to blow, and everyone was going nuts in the Billy Wright and whatever. And then he was like, I'll give it a throw in. It's like in the fourth position was said like he's completely won the ball, because he was like this, and he was like he had the whistle in his mouth, and he was like this. What we're doing, just, giving a throw in.
He did that with the Villa. There was when there was a stoppage in play. The Villa fans were chanting some name, and he was laughing about it. So I think he can, he does that. But like the one that I think probably wound a few people up was when Fabio tried to win the ball, and I think he clipped the defender and went round. But that went out for a throw in, didn't it? I think. So it would have been very interesting to see if he had, because I think the ball curled and came back into play. It would have been interesting to see if he did give that as a throw in. But then obviously, Matt, I don't know if we were going to talk the other two sort of questionable, or the big talking points are both penalty shouts, which personally I think both would have been very soft.
Neither a penalty. Yeah. I can't believe that the Neto one, and again, I don't know who the guy is. Like someone on Twitter, the Wolves fan, said it's a Stonewall penalty, it's this and that. It's got so many interactions, and like people
read the tweet.
I'm like, yeah, but people are actually agreeing with it. I thought, come on, like it's football, like it ain't a penalty. It's never been a penalty in a million years.
I put a tweet out about saying how pathetic the game was with like players rolling around, and it was like full of mention saying, it was Villa, it was John McGinn. I'm like, take your like gold and black tinted glasses off for a second. We're just as bad as each other.
I think with both penalties though, if the referee on the pitch did give them, I don't think the VAR would overturn them. No, and that's it's Robert Jones. I'm surprised he didn't give both. To be fair,
neither are soft. But sorry, both are soft. Neither are penalties. Yeah. Referee rating out of 10, lads.
To be, sorry, George, you go. Sorry,
I'd give him a 2 out of 10. I think I feel like I say it every week. The officiating in the Premier League is fucking awful, and you've got that Twitter account, that Ref Support Watch, going, well, why do you think we're awful? All the criticism we get. Well, yeah, because you fucking wank. Shit, awful. Like really bad. Like okay, sorry. Let me take this out. You're really, really incompetent. Really, really bad. Really bad.
One of the points that they always make is, well, how many bad performances from players have cost them a game? I was like, quite a lot, but you'll still see me laying into a player for being shit. So why? Just because a referee's made a purchase doesn't mean you can't criticise them. It's bollocks. Finn, rating out of 10. I don't think we've got over a 6 this season.
No, and he's not getting anywhere near. I was thinking 3. He screamed, especially on a lot of the ones where he was blowing up for ones where I remember there was one down at the North Bank where Ezri Konsa was trying to like shepherd one out, and they just hit the deck to get the easy free kick to play out. He just screamed, one of those refs that's come through the system quite early. He swallowed a rule book and didn't have any sort of in-game intelligence. Right, he's tried to buy that. That's sort of just one of those, and if that's the best that we've got, then it's quite worrying. So 3 out of 10.
Dave?
3, but then because he's a cock, I'll give him a 2.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll give him a 3 just because he didn't make any big bad decisions like the penalties. Yeah. So Sasha, though, when he came on, before we go on to the next segment, I thought Sasha did really well when he come on. That left-footed cross for Neto on his week, I thought Weaker foot.
Ridiculous.
Unreal.
And then
Tough
he played
chance
that
for
ball,
him to
played a great through ball to Neto as well, I think. So someone had tweeted on a thread on Twitter saying that he didn't look arse when he come on. I thought the opposite, to be fair. So
Yeah.
thought he
His
had a
first
positive
touch is
impact.
like Velcro. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
good.
Good
For
food for a big man.
I'm
I'm expecting that off you, Finn, on Sunday. Yeah.
We wait a long time, mate.
No, even though I know we've said like Cunha was doing a lot of stuff that goes unnoticed, I think I'd watched a video when Mings had got injured early for Villa in the season, and there was a Villa fan had made a video, I think, on Tifo saying, and he'd got up all the stats, and Pau Torres, Consa, not as much Diego Carlos, but they were all in like literally, if you look on their FB ref or whatever, very low percentiles for aerial duels won. So I thought, right, if Kalajic can have a go, but yeah, everything was with his feet, and he looked really good. It's the classic.
Surprised at that though, because they're all monsters. Ain't they? I know Pau Torres is the streak of peace, but like Contra and Carlos could probably run the door down Broad Street if they really wanted to. But yeah, we've no game next week, international break. England playing on the Friday, and Wolves play Bournemouth the weekend after. I thought with us being a fifth of the way through the season, 21% through the way of the season, if we're going to be precise. 8 games played. 8 points, projected finish on 38 points, which have been 16th place last season, which would have been Nottingham Forest. I just thought we'd try and review and give our thoughts on the season so far. I've tried to break it down into a few talking points so we can expand on those. But let's start with results, Dave. Have we got the results under Gary O'Neill that we anticipated? With all things considering, with obviously the shit hand we were dealt with and the actual fixtures. You expect?
I think points per game, it's probably where I would have taken at the start of the season, considering the circumstances. I think obviously I sort of mentioned it last week. If you shuffle a couple of the results around, i.e. the Palace game and the City game, for argument's sake. Or if you say, yeah, we drew at Selhurst Park, but we won at Luton or whatever, I think points per game is probably about where we would be. Performances have been up and down. I think there have been some very good moments in games, i.e. Liverpool at home in the first half, but then there's been some low points, i.e. Liverpool at home in the second half. I think, yeah.
Life comes at you fast, Wolves fans.
Yeah, United was frustrating because I felt we were on top and should have needed to put some chances away. But I think if we replayed that game now, that United game, we would probably do them with how well we are in front of goal all of a sudden. But I'm satisfied at the moment. Obviously, there's still a lot of work to do, but it's not as doom. Like if we were having this conversation 2 weeks ago, I think it would have been very doom and gloom.
George, do you echo those thoughts?
Yeah, I do. I think it's hard to even have a go at Gary O'Neill at this point, to be fair. I said that before a ball was kicked. I think Fosun, it's down to Fosun, the club is where it is, and lack of preparation, lack of transfers, all that sort of stuff. And Gary O'Neill's come into a very much poison chalice with what was going on. I think his in-game management could improve, for sure. But there's been good moments in what we've done and what we've seen so far, and there's certainly enough to build on. I feel like he might have fallen on this back five, but I feel far more comfortable watching us in a back five compared to us getting dragged, like, Dawson and Kilman getting spun like 40 yards away from our goal. It's a much better system for what we're looking to do at the moment. So
let's not talk about systems too much. Stick to results if you can. Shut your fucking mouth, George.
Sorry, results. So yeah, look, I think the Palace away game was quite disappointing. Luton was as well, but I think with the results, I say we are where we are. I saw a tweet today. We've had the third hardest start of the season of any Premier League team as well. So they will turn at some point. So yeah, look,
third most difficult start in the league, I think. Statistically.
Sorry,
I thought you said. I thought you said first.
Oh,
third. So yeah, look,
stop fucking mumbling then.
I heard it. No, but if you look at the fixtures, we've actually had the third most difficult start to the season. So
yeah, I was just Let me guess, Finn.
No, well, I was looking at the table earlier. The table earlier, we've played third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. I think Everton, Luton, 16th, 17th. So you've had those two extremes, and the only real middle guy was Palace. So I think altogether that was the third most.
Yeah,
But no, I think a few more of those mid-table teams, and I think we'll have a bit more accurate. But half of those points have come from City and Villa in recent weeks, so it has put a bit of a shine on things because it was a bit doom and gloom, as Dave said. But I think we can be satisfied largely.
Yeah, and like I said, Villa are the third highest scorers in the league, which is the same position that we've had in terms of fixture difficulties this season. We actually had the third most difficult fixtures. So
what was that one, Matt, in Belgium? That Burnley one that I cocked up.
Only
Only
something about only Burnley have scored less. I can't remember. Only Burnley have done more Burnleys than Burnley.
Yeah, that was it.
Burnley. Yeah. So next little talking point is performances, Jord. Have you seen enough from this Wolverhampton Wanderers side to be happy with it?
On the whole, yeah.
How about in the hole?
2 fixtures in the hole. No, I think the last two performances again. Like I say, I think he might have fallen a little bit fortunate with suspensions, injuries, etc. That we reverted to a 5, but I think this is here to stay now. So yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with it. I feel we all know we need some more players, especially if we're starting to play back 5 consistently. We're going to need more centre halves because we've sold every fucker in the last 2 windows who could play there. So we need some more. And Santi Bueno, bless him, gave me kittens at Ipswich, so I wouldn't want to see him in the lineup anytime soon. But no, it's something to build on for sure. I think we'll be fine.
Talk about players not getting a look in. I saw Pablo Sarabia get up and start to get warm against Villa. I was like, where's he going? Has he left something in the car or something? He's proper fallen off, hasn't he? He'll be gone in January.
Yeah, it's mad, really. Mad.
Finn, performances? On the whole, are you happy with what you've seen?
Yeah, there's definite strong points, isn't there? I think, like Emery said, you've got the transition, certainly one of the strong points. I think I'd want to see a few more games against a team that would just sit in. I know there's not going to be many that are going to look at Wolves and say, right, we're going to have to sit in here, but I don't know how we maybe unlock something like that. But as I say, we haven't really come up against much like that. I don't know what you would even say we struggled against that Luton were doing, apart from us hoofing it to a little Brazilian against 3 big centre up. Like there's areas that I'm not yet to be convinced yet to even see with this different team. So largely we've got strong points as always. Teams start to figure teams out, don't they? You see, I think positively. Let's go with the positives for now. We've definitely got strong points and we're using them well at the moment. So yeah, I've seen enough.
Dave, are you happy with performances that you've seen?
Could be better in some instances, like I mentioned earlier, but in terms of quality of performance in certain games, like the City game, for argument's sake, it was almost a perfect performance against such a strong team. United game in terms of performance was okay, just didn't put the ball in the back of the net. So again, if I had to describe it in 3 words, in the words of Finn Morris, I'd say roller coaster.
Roller coaster.
Really, in terms of the level of performances have just been up and down.
That was Talking Wolves transfer window podcast from like 3 seasons ago, wasn't it? For those OGs who remember that. One that ties into performances, Dave, is the quality of football. And I just find it absolutely mental that if I'd have probably done this after the Ipswich game, it would have been polar opposites. It's wonderful what a win and a scruffy draw against the local rivals can do for confidence. But quality of football, do you think it's improved as to what we saw last season? And can you see what O'Neill's trying to do?
I think so. I think in terms of sometimes you watch games last season, and Lopetegui got us a couple of great wins at home.
The football was awful.
But at times you were like, how are we going to go into this weekend and score a goal? But like, if you actually look at some of the patterns of play that we're creating, and I know all of our goals seem pretty similar, but there's obviously a plan. Gary O'Neill's thought, right, that Pedro Neto is a bit good. Right, Hwang Chan knows how to put the ball in the back of the net if he's in the box. And that's what's happening. So it's just, it sounds like common sense, but you've still got to put the work on the training ground to make sure it happens. And it seems to be working. It really does. He's actually finding the strengths of certain players and using them, rather than Bruno Lage and Julian Lopetegui shoehorning the central midfielder to be a right winger.
You say that about like all the goals looking the same, but over the years, City's have, it's either been across from De Bruyne and that right hand channel, or it's been.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining about it.
It's been the cut back onto the edge of the box where they've managed to go in field and go back out. So I don't mind that. And if teams do double up on Neto, then it frees up some space in the middle of the park. But Finn, quality of football, do you think it's improved? And can you see what Gazball truly means?
Yeah, well, it's had a few forms already, hasn't it? I think. Yeah, the results last season, I even saw a graphic recently, Lopetegui's home form. I think we lost 2 and 1 all the rest, didn't we? But they were all 1-0. So it wasn't hard to improve the standard. I'd echo what Dave said. It was really poor. And then you have a few of those sort of like that Brighton thrashing, and there was a couple more we got head handed to us, wasn't there? But it's improved, but it's not blown me away. It hasn't had to do much to improve, really. And I think he's now, as you say, nailing right. Okay, we're better in a 5. If we're becoming a counter-attacking team, it's almost he's not going to be a Nuno 2.0, but it's similar to that at the moment, isn't it? So yeah, not blowing me away, but definitely better. But also didn't have to do much to do that.
No, Jord.
I think the last 2 weeks, although we've had 2 positive results, I think pragmatic is where it is at the moment. That's probably where it's going to be for this next set of 8 games. We'll be pragmatic. There's nothing wrong with that if you're winning football games. I don't think we're going to be like off our seats thinking this is like Brazil from 98 World Cup or anything. But again, like it's about winning football games and playing to your strengths. And these are our strengths. Our midfield, the midfielders we've got, they do a great job at harassing, breaking play up, shuttling, but they're not going to ever dominate games or with possession and spray 56-yard passes. Those days aren't here at the moment, no never. So you just got to play to your strengths, and I think it's pragmatic as it is at the moment. I think when we have this conversation, come around sort of the next international break, we'll be saying the same. It's pragmatic, but if you're picking up points, it doesn't matter.
It's almost like we're not going to celebrate team goals. It's going to be like stay compact at the back, and then it's going to be individual brilliance. Almost like at the weekend, you go, how's Neto done that? It's basically right. We'll deal with the back, and then I think every goal, we're not going to go, wow, look at that 20-pass move. It's going to be, wow, how's Neto done that, and why is he going in January? So
yeah, but it's. I mean, even the City, it was like, right, we'll have all these men behind the ball, but the front 3, right, you go and do what you need to do. And that's what I know.
Don't mind it.
Fans won't want to hear it. That's what the smaller teams do, and that, at the minute, that's where we are in the food chain. I would say in the league.
Well, that's at Luton. That's how we will have to play with 10 men. So right, one of you lot need to come up with a piece of brilliance. And I think, like I said, at the time, João Gomez's pass was great, but now I don't know how he still to this day how he did what he did. The pace, cutting back inside and just smashing it into the back of the net. Like that's what we need. We just need that ruthlessness, and thankfully we're starting to see that from this team. Wonderful
stuff. Next one, individual performances, and I think this is one where we're probably most in agreement on is O'Neill getting the best out of the players. Are there anyone that you think is excelling? But then also in the same breath, do you think there's any particular players that are underperforming, Dave?
I think obviously we've seen a very similar 11, throughout, Gary O'Neill coming in, really. Obviously been certain changes. Sarabia is one that I'm disappointed with. I sort of put the first 6 months at the club down to sort of moving to a new country and, bringing in, he had 2 new twins. So I sort of put it down to that, but he's just not kicked on at all. And again, I don't think necessarily, especially this current system, probably doesn't suit him. And his best game in the Wolves shirt's been against the League One team. And I think, unfortunately, that says it all with Sarabia, really. I don't think that's down to O'Neill, though, because we saw him struggle under Lopetegui as well. But I think going forward, definitely O'Neill's getting the best out of these players. Neto, Hwang, they're both, by the end of the season, I'm very confident they're going to be putting up numbers that they've never done before in their Wolves career, which is great. So, there's still a little bit of work, I think, to do with the defensive players and the in general, the centre-backs, the wing-backs, because, yes, the last couple of weeks have been okay, but before switching to a back 5, they weren't brilliant. I think Kilman played really well again yesterday. So I think, there've been more positives than negatives though for me with Gary O'Neill's individual performance and player management so far.
George, individual brilliance, individual not so brilliance. Who's caught the eye for you?
Well, Neto's obviously the one, isn't it? Neto and Hwang, like I say. I mean, Neto's looked like he was in that lockdown season, providing fantastic moments. Got confidence, like I say, in his ability to beat people with his pace. And Hwang's, he's putting up great numbers. He's on course probably to get 20 goals in the Premier League, which is silly. I'm not saying he'll keep up that pace, but it's ridiculous that a Wolves player could get to those sort of numbers. Yeah, look, I think like there's still players that you want to probably see more. I know people want to see more out of Cunha, for example, for the price tag, and I mean people still say they want more out of Semedo from an attacking output, which I think is a little bit unfair. But I mean, I know he's offside, but you saw with that chance he had yesterday, he brought it on his left foot, and he just thought, I knew exactly what he was going to do. He was going to knob it to Martinez.
He never looked confident at all.
No, and I do get that. Look, I do get that, but I think defensively he's been superb this season for us. Yeah, I think we're about where we are, and I feel pre the start, pre a ball being kicked, I thought we'd come 16th. I think I said I think we know where we are. It's not going to be the best of seasons, but it's not too bad at the moment.
Individual performances, mate. Any comment?
I don't know if you'd said in the last 30 seconds where I was gone, but I think Aït-Nouri's.
We mentioned about being third difficult.
Oh yeah. But no, yeah, Aït-Nouri's much better on a pitch for us than out on loan. That seemed like his sort of Wolves career was over. I think he's been pretty solid. Had the beating of Matty Cash until he tried to concuss him. I think Semedo, as it's always been with Wolves, it's been inconsistent, but maybe more positives than negatives in it. Yeah, in the usual season. Yeah, he's getting the best out of, as we said, the individual sort of strengths that the players have got. I like Kilman in the right of a back three, which is strange for a left-foot centre-back. But yeah, the players are improving. The collective is improving. So yeah, quite happy. So reactionary though, isn't it? What I'm saying, I'd have been fuming a few weeks ago.
Just as a collective, boys, what are your thoughts on the players' comments on the manager too? Because it's been obviously the players and the club have gone through a bit of adversity at the start of the season. Performances are pretty crap, but do you think that the players have been towing the line in the media, or do you think that they actually seem bought in? Kilman, because you can tell sometimes, can't you, when players are like, we back the manager, training's great, but I don't know. It feels like there's a bit of a siege mentality. I mean, Jose Sarr, I don't know if it's lost in translation, said like we need to die for Gary O'Neill. Kilman has talked about, probably he's lost in translation. Kilman has talked about how great he's been since he's come in, and so have a few other players. So do you think that the players are bought into what he's trying to do? Obviously, the results help, and I think that City performance will get them more bought in. But
I don't know. It's hard. I suppose we'll never know. Obviously, there've been some instances where reportedly players like Kalajdzic rejected handshakes and stuff from him. So stuff like that means, is there a bit of friction there? But you are right. There's a lot of media hype around him in regards to the players, but also Matt Hobbs raves about him as well, doesn't he? We've seen a couple of, Matt Hobbs was on 5 Live last Monday. He did the Wolves podcast as well this week, and he didn't shut up about Gary O'Neill. So, and I suppose he's got to, because this is his man.
It's his man, isn't it?
Matt Hobbs, this is his man, so he's got to. Yeah. But I don't know. I suppose you'd rather do that than say nothing or slag him off, which obviously isn't going to happen anyway. But yeah. By the way, I've just very quickly seen Sky Sports talk about the Ollie Watkins penalty incident, and Matt Doherty is quoted and said never. Yeah.
I think it could. I think in terms of backing O'Neill and stuff like, well, first of all, they've got to, because they've got no choice if they want to play on a Saturday to back him to some extent. But I do feel like he's got a bit of a band of brothers behind him now. Gary O'Neill, he's got Sean Derry, he's got Neil Cutler, isn't it? The goal kick. Like you know what they're all going to be like. They're going to be good lads, aren't they? And like Derry's going to be. He was a shit house as a footballer, and I quite liked him pushing Emery on Sunday as well. Like, and O'Neill, like you know, they're just gonna be good around the place, and they're going to probably be geeing them up and getting them fired up and whatever. And that might be where Jose Sarr's lost in translation quote. It generally might want to die for Gary O'Neill. You never know. That might just be what it is, just pure motivation and that side of things. Because I think Gary O'Neill was a club captain during his time, and so was Sean Derry. So there might just be good blokes to have around the place.
No doubt, if he gets sacked within 2 or 3 days, journalists are reporting he'd lost the dressing room, training was shit, he was grumpy around the place. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. But conscious of time, so I'm just going to go on to the ask you for a score out of 10 so far from the start of the season, Finn.
I think it screams a 7.
Fucking hell, really? I wouldn't give that. But
No, in the situation 4 days before the start of the season, I'd go, oh my God. Yeah, I think if you'd have said, yeah, would it have a point a game? Yeah, I think, 7, 6, 7. I'll stick 7.
George?
I'll give him a 6.5. I think it's just about par for where it needs to be at the moment.
Dave?
Yeah, I would have said 6.5 to be fair as well.
I'd probably give it a 5.5 to be honest.
Oh, of course.
Stickler for the rules.
I just think like the last 2 games have been all right, but before them were a lot of us calling through his head. So
yeah,
I'm not saying I was.
It'd have been a 4 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so I'd say a 6. I'd say a 6. Wonderful stuff. Questions time. Thanks for those who sent in some questions via Talking Wolves Twitter. So James has asked, what could and should the leadership team do to improve our disciplinary record? We have a lot of yellow and red cards.
The leadership team, man. Oh god. I think, especially now, another international break, another time to sort of like, sit down for a couple of weeks, sort things out. It's obvious how strict the referee is going to be now with time waste and all kicking the ball away. So stuff like that needs to cut out. And I know it's the heat of the moment stuff, but everything else really, I think, is just can be avoidable. The Bellegarde red card, I think, was unfortunate, but by the letter of the law, yes, it's a red card. Lamina, I think him and João Gomez just in their role in general, that's going to bring bookings.
The Football Manager line, Dave, in the press conferences where it's like, in that role, I accept they're going to get bookings. Whenever they get suspended, it's literally that, isn't it?
Yellow cards in the first 10 games, Dave. It's down to the roles that they're playing. Yeah, so I think that's what it is. With a couple of red cards, I think stuff on the touchline hopefully will calm down a bit. I think it has in general. I know Emery and O'Neill had that spat, but Lopetegui was just like ridiculous last season. And over the first 2 or 3 times, like, yeah, fucking passion, fucking love that. And then by the end of the season, you're like, all right, Lopetegui taking the piss now. So, but yeah, I think things like that have calmed down a little bit. And it's just the general, I think it's as fans, we're getting used to it, how strict the referees are being as well.
Next question is from Amar's Music Show. Another question for Amar that's answered. Bit of a favourite, really. Last season, few would have predicted that the likes of Hwang and Neto would have gone on to find excellent form in terms of goals and assists that they have so far this season. But what I want to ask you guys is, who in our squad do you think is next to get their goal scoring and assisting boots on? Bloody hell. Let's just calm down. We scored a couple of goals. Let's just calm down. But Dave, who's next to get amongst the goals?
Mateus Cunha. Mateus Cunha, mate.
Oh, you've really sucked your neck out there, haven't you?
Yeah, he's got it. Well, I ain't gonna say flipping Jose Sarr, am I?
Yeah.
Gotta be Cunha. He's got to though. He's got to.
Yeah. There's only one other area, isn't there? You're never going to get from Gomez and Lamina. Your only potential options are Aït-Nouri and Semedo, isn't there? In that starting 11, that they can contribute a bit more. But Kaladic off the bench, I don't know where else. Yeah, than Cunha.
So who is it?
Well, I think it's going to be Bellegarde.
Shall.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, I like that.
I think he's going to start getting some minutes, and he's going to start. Yeah, it's going to be getting fucking tasty, baby.
He'll take us to the Europa League. I think Aït-Nouri could be amongst the assists purely because in that 5 he's positioned he's pretty much playing as like a left winger.
Yeah,
his average positions the last few games have been really high. Semedo's not so much, but he's getting forward too. So I think that would be mine. Lost Souls has asked, do we give Sasa a go and drop Cunha to the bench after the international break? Sasa is far more of a goal threat and linked up well. And he needs that match fitness, maybe not. And he needs at least 60 minutes a game, so that could be an excuse. I still think stick with Cunha.
I'm the same.
Because of the way we want to play.
I would as well, but you got to think on Sunday, if Gary O'Neill watches the Creators Cup and sees Finn Morris, then we could see Finn Morris in for a start.
We could.
As well.
And he's fit and ready to go.
He ain't got a dodgy knee.
Can you imagine the state of me and Sasha up front?
Yeah, God.
I
don't know. Cameos like he had yesterday will obviously put him up the pecking order. I think he'll get in ahead of Fabio Silva up front at the moment. But I think it's the way we play. I think Gary O'Neill just needs to start bringing him on earlier, possibly when we're chasing games. So, but it definitely made a good impact.
I think it's quite telling that he brought on Sasha ahead of Silva. I think Silva's fair choice now. People slating him as well, but brought him on with when we had 10 men. Expect him to play on the wing or in midfield, put him a bit of slack. Sorry, Finn.
I was going to say that the Cunha isn't a number 9 thing seems to have faded in the last few weeks, but if that comes back, I suppose we won't be able to in a 5 at the back, but in the 4 you could almost have him in behind Sasha or Kolasinac as well, like we did. I think did we do that at Everton with Fabio? But yeah, in the 5 it's going to be one or the other, isn't it?
Jord, Sasha or Cunha for Bournemouth?
Cunha. I think you need the dynamism of the front 3 together to play the way we want to play. I think if you put Sasa up there, he's not as mobile as Cunha. And like you say, he's going to need to do a little bit more and a few more good cameos to oust him. And people forget Cunha's a Brazilian international by every account, so he's not a bad player, let's be honest. His time will come, he'll start scoring some goals. For sure.
Wonderful stuff. Next question before we go on to the career path game, because I know that's what you're all waiting for. Daniel Plant, what's the most important position for us to strengthen in January? Is it a clinical number 9, which obviously don't grow on trees? Or do we need centre-back depth, given we've gone to a back 3/5? I think we need a midfielder who can sit and dictate tempo, personally. That would be my biggest one. Not seen enough of Tommy Doyle, but we lack a midfielder who just can put the foot on the ball. Personally, thoughts?
I don't know. It's quite hard because I think the 11 is quite settled at the moment. I think we'll probably have a better idea in the next month or so. I think we've got strong depth in every area, really. Centre back possibly is going to be a player they might look at because obviously we switched to a back 3 now, so we'll need to. But they had said they were going to look at another number 9. But now with Cunha playing as a striker and without a number 10, I don't know. So I don't think they'll be desperate. Maybe another wide player. I think wide player, actually. I think
it's a wide player.
It's got to be in it.
But you got Bellegarde.
Yeah, but without him, outside of that 3, who have you got? Enzo's obviously nowhere near ready. Yeah. Sarabia, I think, will go. Matt Doherty's coming on the left wing or right wing or whatever.
Yeah, good point.
So it's got to be a winger, isn't it?
I think they'll sign another striker, though. That lad from Deer.
Oh, mate, he's a tank. So good. Yeah, but what I think in that case, I think we should start trying Cunha out on the left. I don't understand why that's not been more of a
He took up the position on the left a couple of times. He good work. He's a strong runner, isn't he? So
yeah.
I think if we do get Dia though in January, I think Fabio's gonna go.
But you wouldn't be too at the minute, would you?
It's a shame.
I wouldn't. It's just not good. I just don't think it's going to work out for him, unfortunately.
Oh, well. And Andrew Hadfield has asked, who gets the captain's armband for the Creators Cup? I believe it's Mr. Azzopardi.
El Capitano.
El Capitano.
Yeah, the shirts are getting ready to have their badges put on, so they look sick, you know. I do wonder if we've over-prepped compared to everyone else, but there's got to be at least 1 or 2 teams coming in different shirts in it.
Oh, yeah. Well, if we'd have put shirt sponsors and all sorts on, maybe. But I think just a logo on a shirt isn't too. I think we've gone about right.
No, to be fair, so I think possibly the company that are doing the printing, they've said they'll do it for free, but they're going to put their logo on the sleeve.
Oh, ignore me then.
Don't shout them out yet, just in case they.
Yeah. No, we're not going to shout out just in case they bottle it. But yeah, but in terms of other teams, like obviously I know Jason's got the colour old gold/orange, unfortunately. So I reckon he's going to just chuck any Wolves shirts over to him. I think we'll look professional.
Oh
I
yeah.
think we'll look the bee's knees.
There's a reason why we were A1. There we go.
Yeah,
Right.
A1, first team out. Yeah,
I was gonna pay for the kits and have Matt Cooper bites on the front, but then I thought,
yeah.
is that a bad or good idea? Have you seen Jason?
Matt Cooper back
Jason?
thinners on the sleeve. Yeah, more.
Yes. Or Techno Fireplaces as a sleeve.
on the back neck.
His
What
name's Techno Fireplace. His name's Techno Fireplace. He's called Superbuck.
He's called Woodburner.
They're all called Woodburner. Oh God. Substitution for always Wolves. Free Corgi gas safe is a best. Oh, bloody hell. Right then, career path. You all ready?
Yeah,
Just a reminder of the rules. So you get to call out a name. I'm going to go through the player's career. Unless someone else calls out a name, you are then locked in. If it goes to the end and none of you have got the correct player, then there's 30 seconds for you all just to dive in and keep saying names. You're not locked in. All happy with that?
Yeah, boy.
Player number 1 started his career at Royal Antwerp in 2000, where he made 25 appearances, scoring 10 goals. He then moved to Anderlecht in 2001.
Jelly Van Dam.
No, where he scored 18 goals in 71 games. He then moved to Wolverhampton Wanderers in 2004, where he made 69 appearances, scoring 8 goals. In 2006, he then moved to Reading, where he made It's Selkie Hyun. Get it there, boys.
Belgian. Way off.
Well done. Yeah. Very quiet, Jord.
I knew it was Sol, but I had a bit of a delay, I think.
Calm.
I left it in the suitcase.
Next player. This player started his career in 2014 with Pacos de Ferrer, scoring 14 goals in 41 games before moving to Atletico Madrid in 2000. It is Diogo Jota.
Oh,
I know, because he does his Football Manager saves with that Pacos de Ferreira.
Yeah. Well done. Quick one. Next player. This player started his career in 1985 for Torpedo Lutsk. Torpedo Lutsk, making 8 EA appearances, scoring 1 goal. In 1988, he moved to SKA Karpate Lviv, scoring 0 goals in 29 appearances before making a huge move in 1989 to Dynamo Kiev, scoring 13 goals in 250.
Isaac Okoronkwo.
It's not. In 1999, he made a move to Arsenal, where he made 75 appearances before in 2003.
Oh, I know it is.
Moved to Wolverhampton Wanderers, making 6 appearances.
Oleg Luzhny.
It's Oleg Luzhny.
I knew it as soon as he said Arsenal.
That's what I was waiting for.
1-1-1. Across the board. Your next player, and your 4th out of the 5. This player started his career in 2003 at Wolverhampton Wanderers, and during his time until 2007, he scored 13 goals and made 74 appearances. During his time at Wolves, he had loan spells at Kidderminster Harriers, Queen Park Rangers. It's Leon Clark.
Oh, great.
I'll tell you what, that is good. That is very good, mate. That's very good.
I thought I was going to say Leon Clark as well then.
Oh, yeah. I bet you were.
I was
going to put them numbers in the lottery the weekend.
Leon Clark is like probably one of my earliest Wolves memories, man. I think we drew 2-2 against Norwich and they scored in the 91st, 92nd minute. I was with my granddad and he's like, oh, we're going. And as we went out, I thought, we've scored. He goes, no, they haven't. I said, why would they play this if we lost 2-1? Leon Clark scored late on.
Wonderful. Unlocking core memories. Your final 5th player started his career at Manchester City in 2011. He didn't make a single appearance at Manchester City. However, he did enjoy 3 loan spells, 1 at Carlisle, 1 at Shrewsbury Town, and 1 at Sheffield Wednesday. He then joined Sheffield Wednesday on a permanent deal in 2013.
Jeremy Hallan.
It's Jeremy Hallan.
Oh,
yes.
wow. Big shout.
Wow.
Yes, 100 appearances for Sheffield Wednesday, mate, scoring 3 goals. He joined Wolves in 2016 on loan and made 8 appearances before retiring to focus on his faith. So, yeah, well done, Finn. You are this week's winner. Oh, no, this week's 2-2.
2-2-1.
George, you get the booby prize. A big kiss off
What's
me
her name?
next time I see you. Everyone will want to come last next week now. Lee Hughes. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that, lads. That's all we got time for this week. Dave, do you want to just give another quick shout out for the Creators Cup on Sunday?
Yeah, the Creators Cup Sunday. If you want to get involved or come and watch as a spectator, there's a link in the description. If you can't make it, even if you want to drop us a donation, it would mean a lot. We'll probably put updates on our social medias as well. So if you're catching it on, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, drop us a follow or like, and we'll probably give updates. We'll try and get some clips out as well if we can. But yeah, it'd be great to see some of you there if you can.
Wonderful stuff. Hopefully, get some clips of someone else falling over this time, so I can get a bit of sleep. Dave, where can people find you? Should they wish to follow you?
It's at Dave as a Party on Twitter and Instagram.
Finn.
Finners everywhere. FINERRZ for my comps at the weekend, whether they are fail or goal comps, we will see, but they'll be on there regardless.
Someone commented on the last podcast asking what happened to your vlogs, that they really enjoyed them.
I don't know, to be honest. I didn't make a conscious effort. I keep saying this every time, don't I? The first one where I made a conscious decision not to film was Man City. I filmed every game, and then I was like, you know what, it's just been rubbish. For a 7 out of 10 season, it's been rubbish. And then with that City goal, I'm like, right, do I need to not film? If I'm pulling out driver's license lines, maybe it's time to retire. But no, I don't know. There's something in there. I still want to, but it might be in a different form. I don't know. We'll see. So non-committal answer from me. Should be a politician.
What kind of format are you thinking? Could you give a Talking Wolves exclusive?
I don't know. OnlyFans.
Fair enough.
No, I don't know.
Fair enough. Do a live watch along with your Corey ads.
But
that's the plan.
Yeah, not on Talking Wolves. So.
Nah.
Talking Wolves after.
can if you want.
There's enough dicks on here.
Too many tosses on there.
Yeah, the fans react. George, where can people find you, Matt? Should they wish to follow you?
At George Russ7 on Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, of course, LinkedIn, which we've forgotten about. But yeah,
never
LinkedIn
forget
is always
LinkedIn. It's the most important one.
Yeah.
I am Matt Cooper Bites and M Cooper Writes across socials. We are, of course, Talking Wolves across all good social media platforms and, of course, LinkedIn. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please drop us a 5-star review if you've enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, drop us a like. Again, I feel very, very pushy doing this, but if you got to this part of the podcast, you probably enjoyed it. So if you don't subscribe to us, please leave us a review. We really would appreciate that. And yeah, see you in a couple of weeks. We will, won't we? And until then, look after yourselves, take care, and go and enjoy the sun. Take care. Right.